Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you are new to my channel, welcome to the family. I am honored to have you here. If you are returning, welcome back. I have missed you. Okay, so Gemini risings. We are working through Scorpio season. Now, the first thing that I want to mention is if you are wondering what it means to be a Gemini rising, I am going to encourage you to go and check out the messages from Libra risings, or from Libra season, not Libra rising, but Libra season, that were the first round of messages that I did. The intro to each of the signs gives kind of the background of what it means to be each rising sign. And, I might actually do a video on it at some point in time where I just kind of piece together all of those intros so that everybody kind of has an awareness of what these signs are. But if you're interested in getting to know yourself a little bit more, that is a really great way. As it is, we are moving into Scorpio season now. Now, the reason why I'm not giving more background on your zodiac sign is because during Scorpio season, we have the eclipse cycles. Now, these are high energetic days. We have a lot of things, a lot of messages to work through, not just the messages here, but the collective messages and the collective energies that we're working through. Spirit was so very adamant and very firm about what it is that we're meant to be learning and what it is that we're capable of doing and what it is that we're like really initiating collectively during this time, and how crucial this moment in history and in our own personal history is. What we're here, what we're doing, it matters so much. And the energies out in the cosmos are really setting us up for these changes. Now, Gemini, you have a huge, profound energy that is going to be occurring in your first house because Mars is going retrograde during Scorpio season. Mars actually goes retrograde on October 30th. Now, Mars going retrograde during this time is really, really, really going to change things in your life, internally and externally. If you want to work with Mars's retrograde energy, my retrograde guidebook is available on Amazon. The links are in the description box. It is available in paperback, ebook, and Kindle Unlimited. Please, please, please consider going and getting it because this is going to hit your first house. Knowing how to work with these energies, knowing what they mean and how they impact us collectively, and then applying that to the self for you in particular is such a huge, huge factor. So it is very important for you to take that into consideration. And that is the whole reason why Spirit had me writing that book, is because it was so important for the collective. Now, that being said, if you're new to my channel, what I've been doing throughout the month of October is I have been doing witch runes. Now that in the beginning, it was me learning the runes and really like me learning the runes alongside of you all. Now that I have worked with them and interacted with them for so long, I really have a good feel for them. And I hope that you guys do too if you have been on my channel for a while. Now, that being said, moving through rising sign messages and into Scorpio season, we are actually doing something different. Do you guys see that light orb? That was very direct. I haven't had one that was quite so direct in a while. But if you missed it, you can rewind the video. It was right in this area. But as we're moving through this, I was pulled very deeply to working with the Elder Futhark runes, which are Norse runes. And they're the runes that were received by the god Odin as he hung from the Yggdrasil tree. It's really hard to say. It's an ash tree. And the tree of life, the tree of wisdom, the tree of knowledge. He hung from that tree, I believe it was for 9 days and 9 nights, so that he may receive the wisdom of the runes and come and share that with the world. Now, this is because there is this energy of blending, of mixing, of combining, of bridging. And Geminis, you are literally the walking bridges in this world because your sign is carrying the energy of duality, of shapeshifting, of being both human and divine in this world. And that means that this is an energy right now that your guides, that your spirit guides, your ancestors spirit, and especially the Norse deities. And I don't know if maybe some of you guys really truly resonate with the Norse gods and goddesses, but your energy, I'm feeling them a lot more profoundly. So they really want to blend and to show everybody that it doesn't matter where the origin point of these things are. It matters what we do with them, how we blend them together, and how we work together. And this is something that we're all learning collectively. It's a synergistic kind of energy. We're learning all of this collectively. So your overall rune for Scorpio season is right here, and it's Gebo or Gibo, Gebo, and it means gift. It's about an exchanged force or generosity, but it's also about sacred union. Now, you are the sign of the twins. The twins is the sign of the sacred union. You're represented by the Lovers card. It's about both the masculine and the feminine, the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming into union, coming into harmony. But it's also about us coming into harmony with our souls, with our higher selves, aligning our mind, our body, and our heart so that our soul has a clear path to come forth, come down, and forge that connection, anchor it into the ground, and have you be a walking beacon in this world of divine wisdom. Now, I got this energy, the message of the gift of unity within exudes outward as a blessing for all. So when you come into a sense of unity within yourself, that's when you start walking through the world as a divine blessing in and of yourself. You don't have to do anything or be special or like perform to X amount of levels or anything like that. You just have to be yourself, because when you embrace this and embody this as yourself, you literally become the walking blessing in the world. And that's a really beautiful message for you guys. And I really, really love that. So how this reading is going to work, in case you're new and you didn't catch last season or last season's. I don't know. When I said that, it felt like a TV show. It was very strange. But didn't catch last season's rising sign messages. Each of these piles correlates to a moon phase, one of the 4 primary moon phases that are going to occur during Scorpio season. Each of the moon phases that are pulled here correlate to a specific house within your natal chart. So we have the first one is the partial solar eclipse in Scorpio. And I am focusing on the eclipse energy rather than the new moon and full moon, but this does correlate to the new moon energy as well. It is directly after the new moon that the eclipse hits. This is on October 25th, and it hits in your 6th house. So we're looking at your house of work. And you have the 8 of Swords and the female rune. Now we'll go into what these cards mean as we get into the energies. Each of the energies of the moon phases are going to be broken down collectively. And then we're going to look at how it's going to impact you directly as a Gemini rising and your 6th house. Then we move on to October 31st and November 1st, depending on where you're at, because there is a crossover with the dates as far as the time zones go. And this is a Samhain first quarter moon in Aquarius. And this is hitting in your 9th house. So this is about the expanded perspective and the expanded belief in yourself, but also in spirit. So this is about your spirituality. And we have the Mother of Air along with the Rings rune. Now, I did want to mention that this pile in particular is all about messages from your higher self with the tarot cards themselves. These are messages from your higher self. And then we're going to move on to November 8th and the full moon and total lunar eclipse in Taurus. And again, we're focusing on the eclipse energies. Now, this is happening in your 12th house. And I know that they call the 12th house the house of spirituality, but in order to get to the depths of that spiritual awareness, you first have to go through the depths of yourself. So I was called strongly to focus on the self in terms of the 12th house. How to get into those subconscious depths in order to open and awaken a deeper understanding of your collection to the unconscious collective. So we've got the 6 of Wands and the Waves rune. And then we are going to be moving into the November 16th, 3rd quarter moon in Leo. And this is going to happen in your 3rd house. And this is about the communications that you have within yourself, within your own mind, based off of your childhood and how it impacts your interpersonal relationships. So we have the Queen of Swords and the Sun rune. So without further ado, I am going to pause it and we are going to move into the partial solar eclipse in Scorpio and your 6th house energies and messages. So I will see you at the next reading. All right, Gemini risings, we are back. So we are now looking at the October 25th new moon partial solar eclipse in Scorpio. All right. So we have a 14 and 5 energy. This is Temperance and Hierophant, and this is based off of the numerology of the day itself. So this is all about alchemizing the past structures so that we can have a new beginning in life. Sometimes we have to take a look at the old way that things were and say, okay, this does not work anymore. It's time to change it, and realize that we have the power within ourselves to alchemize that completely and start anew. Now, when I say start anew, we actually have this as within our ability during this eclipse cycle, because we are beginning a new 56-year eclipse cycle, which is called a Saros cycle. And it happens in Scorpio every 18 years. This particular one is occurring in the first decan or the first 10 degrees of Scorpio. So if you have any planets or any placements or anything like that within that first 10 degrees of Scorpio, this is really going to impact those placements for a new beginning, and especially a new beginning in terms of love and love of the self. Now, this first decan of Scorpio eclipse is literally about transforming the Scorpion energy of Scorpio within yourself. This is healing the sting from the past that makes you reactive to other pains in love of the self, which is viewed through the lens of love, of loss of love from the past. Now, for you in particular, this is about how you love yourself and how that translates into the work and the service that you provide for the outside world, whether you give of yourself so much or if you deplete yourself or feel as though you're not being given an equality. And there is that exchange force here that is a huge factor. This realizing how to be in the receptive mode is a big thing for you. Now, Mars is out of bounds in your first house. When Mars is out of bounds, Mars is not following any rules, any astrological rules. So anything that you find out there that is going to tell you what Mars is doing based off of the astrological rules is, unfortunately, I'm hearing wrong. It's just wrong. Because Mars doesn't follow any of the rules, because Mars is now out of bounds. It's out of the guise of the sun. It doesn't follow our rules. Same with Black Moon Lilith in your 2nd house in Cancer. Both of these planets are out of bounds, and they are making crucial aspects to the sun and the moon. Now, Mars is making a trine, a harmonious trine with the sun, the moon, and Mercury in Libra. This is giving us creative solutions so we can transform our communications, bringing more balance into the ways in which we speak to ourselves and to others. And because of this balance that we're finding within, it's helping us in conflicts in our interpersonal relationships. Black Moon Lilith being out of bounds is making a harmonious trine with the sun, the moon, and Venus in Scorpio. So this is helping us nurture and mother ourselves in our hearts from the losses that we had in our lives, from the lack of loyalty that we found from others and towards ourselves, and that feeling of being abandoned into the murkiness of being trapped in the past, so that we can move forward with a purpose and an intention of freeing our hearts from these things by just simply loving ourselves. Now, the other factor is we have Pluto in Capricorn, who is who is sitting at that critical degree, not coming into it, but has been sitting at that critical 26th degree of Capricorn. Now, Pluto's energy is hyper amplified at this critical degree, which means that it's that pressure cooker energy that I've talked about so often before. We feel like we are in this pressure cooker, like it's do or die moment. It's shit or get off the pot moment. It's transform now because we have to. There's really no other option, is what it feels like with Pluto sitting at this 26th degree. And Pluto is squaring off with the sun, the moon, Mercury, and Venus. So Pluto is really pushing on us to see that the true purpose of transformation and healing that we do in this life is literally to heal ourselves. It's not to be a success in the outside world. It's because we deserve this. We deserve to heal. We deserve to see ourselves as a success. And then that just becomes the way the world sees us. We're not doing this in order to glorify the healing process. We're doing this so that we can turn the corner, surrender to the pressure that we feel within our minds, and realize that we're here to heal ourselves. Plain and simple. We're not here to glorify the healing process. We're not here to glorify anything. We're here to show the world what it's like when we heal, because when we heal, then we step into this generous space. And that's what you're learning to do. Now, this is also about attention to transform all of these past structures, just like the alchemization of past structures for a new beginning. The past structures within our own minds need to be transformed so we can come into a greater awareness of how we can be more emotionally grounded, how we can feel all of our emotions but not be swept away with them, and then verbalize the emotional needs that we have into this world, and verbalizing them in a way in which it's actually speaking life and not speaking about the negative aspects. And I know that's really hard because even I struggle with that at a lot of the times, but it can be done. It takes learning and taking the edge off of the words that you speak to yourself and towards others. And Pluto is really helping us learn how to do that. Now, there is a new cycle of wholeness of the self within the world and embracing the mystery of life in a whole state of being so that we can create a balance in our lives, in our world, and in the collective. This cycle of wholeness is actually what we're being asked to step into, to realize that we are created divinely, we are created uniquely, and we are created whole. Even if we feel as though we are incomplete, if we surrender to knowing that we feel incomplete and we just open ourselves up, Spirit will pour into those places. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to seek another person. We don't need to seek anything to fill those places because Spirit is meant to be in them. And that is what we're learning through this, is to shed those structures that tell us that we need to be with somebody else so that we can give to ourselves and have Spirit pour into us. So moving forward into your energy, we have you working in the energy right now of the Eight of Swords with the female rune. Now, this is telling me that your divine feminine feels trapped inside of you. And the reason why is because in the past, you've been in this sun energy. And normally I would say the sun energy is super happy and super peppy and whatever. But no, what I'm feeling from this is divine masculine. So you've been so firmly on this divine masculine, go, 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 that this is actually coming through as a warning right now. And I don't mean it to sound negative. I mean it as a temperance kind of energy that I'm picking up. It's literally your guides are saying it's time for you to slow down because the path that you're headed down right now is one that is just going to be very self-destructive inside your own mind. It doesn't mean that you're going to be stabbed in the back because we've got the Ten of Swords here. It means that you're being asked to slow down and choose the path that you want, because right now in your energy, your divine feminine is very, very, very trapped. And that means that you can't attract. So when you think that you're manifesting and you think that it's going really well, you're in this go, 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 go energy, but you're not giving yourself a break and you're not giving yourself the time to be like, I'm open and I'm receptive and I am ready to accept the generosity of Spirit, of the universe. And the universe is literally sitting here with like a bag full of gifts waiting for you, like Santa on Christmas morning. And you're going, but I've got to do this and I've got to do that and I've got to do this and do that and do this and do that. But you need to slow down. And this moon phase is literally showing you how to balance this energy back out so that you don't move into this state of feeling this utter sense of destruction surrounding your work. Some things take more time. And you need to realize that you're in a Knight of Pentacles. That's the slowest moving knight. And that's because the Knight of Pentacles is meticulous about making sure that the seeds he plants really grow to full fruition before he brings in the harvest. This is something that you have to ameliorate within your mind. This is something that your spirit guides are really asking you to ameliorate within your mind. You may feel trapped, but you're trapping yourself. Stop moving and start getting still. Start learning how to open yourself up to receptivity, and that Knight is going to move as fast as the sun moves so that you don't end up in this energy of your own mind destroying you. You can free yourself from that. So let's see what your ancestors say. This is the Samhain Oracle, and for all of the placements, these are energies that are messages from your actual ancestors. So we have Healer 22. Listen as the medicine bleeds through her teeth, a river of mercy blessed by Mother, seen only by those who hold her mirror. So you may be feeling very unseen. You may feel as though you do a lot, but it doesn't come back. You give a lot, but it's not exchanged in equality. The gift of unity within exudes outward as a blessing for all. So when you unify your energies within, when you really bring these energies into balance, and right now they feel very out of balance. When you bring these energies into a balance within yourself and within your life, that is going to change things for you. You are the shapeshifter. You have these energies inherent within your entire energy field because you were born as your rising sign. Gemini is the rising sign that has this energy inherent. The twins' energy is very strong, but it's about not going to the outside world, seeking it and going within, because you will find it within. And that's where you will come into healing. Now, again, I'm feeling a lot of Freya energy with you. And that means that you have this magic, this power within you, this wisdom, but you also carry a warrior energy. Freya doesn't choose anyone just because. She comes to those who are the fiercest warriors. When Freya announced herself to me, I was in the middle of what I would consider spiritual warfare, but it was more of a warfare within my own mind. I was fighting my own lower energies, my own lower mentality, my own lower thoughts. And I was allowing myself to be sucked away and sapped of energy while in these connections that did not serve me. Now, am I saying that the connections were inherently bad? Absolutely not. Nope. I am saying that I was not in the right energy because I had my own demons coming to the surface. But I kept fighting them and battling them off. And Freya came and announced herself to me, wanting me to work with her. And it was at that time that I really started opening myself up more and more to my gifts, but more to my divine feminine. This is something that I feel like I should share with you because I feel like she's been calling to you and you may not have realized it. So if you've been seeing a lot of cats, seeing falcons as a repetitive thing, black feathers, seeing anything with the chariot in multiple readings, like constantly seeing the chariot, even though you're not Cancer, or like a blood red ruby. I'm actually seeing like a blood red ruby stone, and excuse me, I had to yawn, moving energy through. There was one, the number 13 or Friday the 13th. And I know we're in spooky season, but if you have like found yourself seeing advertisements for Friday the 13th, movies literally everywhere you go, that's actually Freya because Friday the 13th is her day. Friday is Freya's day. So she has been announcing herself to some of you. If it doesn't resonate, please don't make it fit. For me, Freya came and announced herself to me at the time in which we were meant to start working together. It was a contracted thing. But when she announces herself to you, it's a very auspicious moment. I felt very, very blessed personally. And so I'm just picking up all this energy from her. You may have Nordic roots as well. So let's get some messages here. We have passion. Oh, that's why. And the card 39, be authentic, be real and true to who you are and how you feel. What are you doing in your working life that isn't true to yourself? What are you doing that makes you feel like, oh, I'm just doing this for this person or I'm just doing it for that person? Because that's really stifling your passion. And when your passion is stifled, then your divine feminine is stifled. Now, that's the problem here that I'm seeing is that you feel like you can't live a passionate existence. You want to live a passionate existence. And I can see that with the Sun card. And I can feel that every time I look at this 8 of Swords and the 10 of Swords, I can feel that coming from your divine feminine. Like she wants to live passionately, but you have to surrender to that way of being. You have to surrender to that passion and purpose in your life. And you have to surrender to allowing it to flow through you. It comes to you. It's not something that you can fabricate. It comes from the genuine nature of who you are, this genuine uniqueness of yourself. So whatever it is, and I'm hearing trapeze artist. So whatever it is for you that makes you feel alive, makes you feel like you're a trapeze artist, like you're flying through the air and you're doing these flips and people are just gasping because they don't know whether you're going to actually be able to grab the pole or anything like that. And it looks like you might fall. You're literally showing the world that you can fly through the air. That's what it makes you feel like. I'm flying through the air. I am limitless. I am weightless. I can do anything I want to do. That kind of passion. That's how I feel when I write. That's how I feel when I sit here and channel. It's like there's nothing I can't do. There is nothing that isn't possible in this world when I do these things. It is such a deep passion of mine. And so I sit here and I just let things flow through. And that's the essence of being in that divine feminine energy. When you are in that divine feminine energy, you allow the ideas to flow through you. You don't try and yank them out or fabricate them or seek them outside of yourself. You just let them be. They come to you. It's some of you may want to read Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. She also wrote Eat, Pray, Love, but Big Magic was a book that just utterly changed my life. I remember sitting there reading it and I had tears just falling down my face. I was sobbing because finally it was like someone understands what it feels like to write, to create, the struggle that it is, but also the beauty that it is and how wondrous and magical and amazing it is. And it just was so profound. And it was so profound. And I was reading her book and it was the inspiration found in just engaging in a passion of mine, which is reading, that I gained more inspiration for writing my first book, Chemistry with Kismet. And then that's literally what this tarot channel ended up being named. So there's this connection of everything. When you allow things to flow through, it's like that X marks the spot of everything suddenly falling into place. It's like suddenly you get this beautiful union of everything you've been trying to bring together. You just understand it. And then you realize the generous nature that is the universe. You realize that when you unify within yourself and you ameliorate yourself to overcoming these mindsets and allowing things to come to you, knowing that they will, that's when you live this authentic, passionate existence. And this moon phase is teaching you how to release all the things that have been holding you back from it. And most of it has been your own mentality. This fear that you're going to be stabbed in the back and betrayed is a really crippling fear. It is a very true crippling fear, and especially when it comes into your working life. Let's get your final messages. We have meditation for peace and serenity. Yes, 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 yes. And then 22, library. Take control of your own narrative. What was I saying? It's literally the way that you view it, the way that you perceive it. So give yourself the time to really clear your head. Now, this meditation for peace and serenity, first of all, don't meditate underwater unless you are snorkeling and actually have something to breathe. But this is literally telling you to go into the depths of your own emotional waters. It's telling you to know that you can do this. Know that you have the fire and the flame within you. I'm not going to lie. The guy's picture on the card is a little bit creepy. Like, I don't know. It might just be me, but he seems a little creepy. But this is, and don't think of meditation in the traditional sense. Meditate authentically for yourself, but you're the one that controls what's going to happen. If you're constantly in fear that you can't slow down and you have to do this and you have to do that, that's how that narrative is. So if you calm yourself down and you give yourself a sense of peace and prosperity within your own mind, then abundance comes in for you. This serenity, the serenity prayer is, God, grant me the wisdom to accept the things that I cannot change. No, God, grant me the serenity. God, grant me the courage to change the things I can. You know what? I'm going to look it up because I used to know it really well because my dad was an alcoholic. And they say it all the time in Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay, it's God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Man alive. Okay. So this is literally like you're learning to accept certain things, But then you're also learning to change the narrative, about what you're here to heal, what you can do, what your worthiness is. And for a goddess such as Freya to announce herself like that, that's powerful work. And we've got the card 39, which reduces to a 12, and 12 is the card of the Hanged Man. And I always associate the Hanged Man with Odin. Now, your rune in particular is actually associated with both Odin and Freya. They are the All-Father and the All-Mother energies. To me, those are the energies I always pick up. But they are the father and the mother of the warrior energies within Norse mythology. They literally are the ones who seek out the warrior spirits, and they bring those warrior spirits in. And divine feminine can be a warrior spirit. You just have to change the narrative. You have to change the storyline. What do you tell yourself is possible and what you're capable of? Are you calling yourself a puppet? Do you think that there is a puppet master so that you have no control over your life? Or do you see that your passions are your purpose and your purpose is your passion? And when you feed into your passions, you are actually living a purposeful life. And from there, you actually set your divine feminine free. I was going to say on fire. So yeah, maybe that's what you need, to set your divine feminine on fire. Set the ropes that are binding her on fire and set yourself free. Realize that you are whole within yourself, that you can receive, that wholeness means balancing these energies out. And you don't need to seek anything outside of yourself. It's just within yourself. This is how you alchemize the past and give way to a new beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it, and we're going to switch over and get messages from your higher self about your 9th house for the first quarter moon in Aquarius. Okay, Gemini risings. We are moving on to October 31st and November 1st, which is Samhain, and the first quarter moon in Aquarius. This is about the lessons of the soul. This is about healing the hope of the heart and the faith that we have in oneself in order to find our truest place in the world and the collective. Now, this energy carries with it a thinning of the veil because we are working through this gateway energy. And it is all about connecting with the ancestors of the soul. Now, I have to tell you guys, I had to sit with these cards because I couldn't fucking believe them when they came out. And please forgive my language here, but I couldn't fucking believe the cards that came out. And I promise you, I don't look at these. But I am here to tell you everything I was talking about with the Nords and Odin and Freya, like massive levels of confirmation here. And they are parts of your soul. They are part of your ancestry here, ancestors of the soul. You likely had a or many past lives in which you interacted with these gods and goddesses, these deities, these energies in those places when they were the most prevalent, because they are calling out to you. They want you to give gratitude for the struggles that they went through to bring forth the wisdom that they are bringing forth into your life at this point and right now, but also the ancestors of all of our souls so that we can learn and heal ourselves and our ancestors and descendants. There was a message that came through and I just saw 3333 on the clock. I feel like that's significant. Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen it. But there was a reading that I did, and I cannot remember which one it was, but the card that came out was Ancestors, and it was about the wisdom that we are the ancestors for the future descendants. We are the people that people are going to look back into their ancestry chart and be like, oh my gosh, I'm related to this person. Holy crap, look what they did in their life. I can do anything. I can be anything because this person is in my ancestry. That's who you are right now. That is what you are doing here. You're going to have someone someday look back and say, this person is related to me. What do you want them to gain from that? Do you want them to look at you and be like, oh my gosh, look at the strength that I have garnered from this person just being in my ancestry because they just embraced who they were and shared that with the world. That's what we're learning how to do. It's about our choices, the choices that we make, and the results are the consequences of them. Because this is the first quarter moon in Aquarius, and this is happening in your 9th house, and Saturn has been moving through your 9th house, which means that you've been getting a karmic overhaul of your beliefs. As soon as you have some sort of belief, you're going to get an automatic cause and effect of that. So this is really impacting what you perceive for yourself in the world. And the more expansive you can allow this to be, the better, because the results can be more expansive if you allow yourself to understand that. Now, this is being highlighted through excessive tensions and triggers because this is a first quarter moon. And with any quarter moon, they're bloody charts. They're very tense charts. They are built surrounding 90-degree angles or the square energy. And so these tensions and triggers are there to give us greater clarity into the nature of being nurturing and empathetic with ourselves, and how doing this diffuses the tension and the anger that we feel when we are triggered. And it brings deeper, more loving energy into our family, both on a spiritual level and a physical level. One change in one person changes the entire family line. And some people don't fully understand that. But that is so powerful because there are gifts and blessings of freedom that are found through healing the self from the pains of the past. There was a book that I heard a quote from this book when I was channeling the messages and the energies of this moon phase. And it's from the book series, The Fever series by Karen Marie Moning. And she writes these paranormal fantasy romance books about the Fae, the dark Fae and the light Fae and all of that. But one of the characters, Jericho Barron, says, stay to the light. And the reason why he says that is because there is a dark Fae that's called a shadow. And this shadow can grow and grow and grow. And you don't always see this shadow. And so when you step out of the light into the shadow can consume you because you have left the light. This is telling me that when you shine a light on the shadow, you actually find what is projecting that shadow externally, and thereby shattering the shadow itself and seeing the piece of yourself that needs more love. This is about you staying true to your light, staying true to the light that you carry within and the light that is existent in all of us. Now, the moon is making a parallel with Pluto during this, and it's giving us this awareness that the calling of the soul can be one that brings greater healing through knowing that in the darkness, when we shine a light into the darkness, it brings blessings. Magic is what we make of it, and emotions are meant to be the blessings of this experience we call the journey of life. This whole moon phase is about balancing the truth of the self through knowing the light that we contain within and shining that forth. Now, the reason why I tell you guys, yes, I'm psychic, but man alive, did your cards blow me away, because you're sitting in the mother of air. And these have the elemental and then the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So this is equivalent to the queen of air energy. And you have the rings, and the rings is all about unifying, commitment, harmony, balance, coming together of these forces. So this is you gaining a lot of clarity on a spiritual level. Your higher self is coming in as the mother of air to bring you this communication, this clarity, this awareness. And I'm getting, again, Freya and Odin energy. And what did I say before? Have you been seeing a lot of chariots in your readings? And look at this. This is literally the representation of the chariot card in this deck. It is a transformation card, the card number 7. It represents the chariot. So we have it right here. And this is literally your higher self being like, hey, here is the clarity that you need for all of the weird things going on and all of the strange things that you felt. This is what it is. It is literally Freya and Odin coming in and being like, we are your head deities in this realm. We want you to connect to us. We want you to call us down because we are here to nourish you. We are here to give to you. We are here to give you this water. And this is what you're asked to embody, this Queen of Cups energy, this intuition, this awareness, this knowing. You have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups here. But this is more about air and water energy. This is about emotional communication. This is about you balancing the truth of who you are and the light that you carry within in a way where you are emotionally communicating it into the world. And then you've got the 9 of air, and the 9 of air in this sense does truly talk about sacrifice because it's got the runes. This is literally the tree that Odin hung himself in so he could gain these runes. And you have his birds, Hugin and Oh my gosh, I can't remember the second one. You know what? If you remember or know the second one, please let us know in the comment section below. But this 9 of air talks about what you have to give up in order to gain this wisdom. Now, the number one thing that you have to give up is that narrative that we were talking about. Your energies are still blending together, and it's blending together really beautifully from one to the next. But this is so much confirmation on a spiritual level saying this is what is here for you. This is the awareness that is here for you. This is the wisdom that is here for you. And this is what is really being ushered in. Is this awareness that your soul has already been feeling this. Your higher self is coming in to say, hey, this is where you're transforming. You're transforming into this level of awareness of what it takes, what pieces of your own mentality you need to give up here. Sometimes we think of sacrifice, or we hear the word sacrifice and we lock up because we get so afraid that we're going to be forced to give up the things that we love. But it's not about giving up the things and the people that we love. It's about giving up the narratives that tell us that we have to give up the things and the people that we love. It's one of those ludicrous notions that becomes a paradox. Because spiritually speaking, there are so many teachers that are like, oh, that's a toxic thing for you. Oh, maybe this isn't like this way, or you have to give this up in order to receive this. And the more that we think of it that way, the more we tell ourselves the narrative that we are not enough to have what we desire in our lives. And the more you tell yourself, I'm not enough and I'm not worthy to have these things, so I have to give them up so I can be worthy of having these things, the more you feed that false narrative. And it is nothing but a false narrative. It's a really crappy one at that. So this is about transforming the way that you actually speak your emotions into existence and the things that you love, and say, these are what I desire to have in my life. And I know that I am worthy of having them because I desire them. They are in my heart. So they are what I am worthy of. And you move forward from there. So let's see what your ancestors have to say about the lessons of your souls. And you know, I get this energy that they want you to acknowledge whatever it is that's on this card. They want you to acknowledge this about themselves more than anything. We have Dark Moon 13. In the dark of your heart lives a new breath waiting for you to release its ghost. They want you to release the fear surrounding them. This fear that you're going to always live in darkness, this fear that you're never going to be able to breathe easy, to breathe lightly. They went through that phase. That was their struggle. They don't want you carrying that struggle. They don't want you carrying the struggle that I can't do this. It's too hard. I don't have it in me. They want you to take a deep breath and to breathe easier and to let go of the ghosts of their fears, because their fears are not meant for you to carry any further. And you have been carrying them for far too long. And they recognize that you have done this, and they are really deeply appreciative of that. But you have that power, that magic within you to let go, to see that there are blessings within holding this, and there are blessings in releasing it. This is part of that narrative you get to change. This is part of that sacrifice you get to make. Sacrifice feeling these fears. And it may seem like, oh, that's not really a sacrifice, but it is, because it changes the way that you think. It changes the way that you feel about yourself. It changes the way that you perceive yourself, and it changes the way you perceive the world. In essence, when you change from a negative narrative or a false narrative into a positive viewpoint of yourself and your capabilities and your world and what your blessings are, you are sacrificing something for something else. You are sacrificing this old false narrative to embrace the true narrative, and your life changes. We perceive sacrifice in such a negative way because we put the connotation of negativity there. When you take that away and you say, okay, you know what? Spirit, ancestors, guides, I'm going to serve up on this platter here for you all of my burdens, all of my worries, all of my woes. I don't want them anymore. I don't want to carry it anymore. I am sacrificing these things so I can live happily. And there's the camera doing that fun little autofocus, which I always say is a confirmation. Literally, that's what your guides want you to do. That's what spirit wants you to do. It's what your higher self is telling you to do. Like, summon down the rain and cleanse it out, because You want to sacrifice this old way of being, this old negativity. I'm going to have to sit with this message when I'm done with this, because this is so profound even to me right now. Geminis, you guys really oh gosh, I love your energies. I love your energies so much. I love sitting in Gemini energy because you just have such unique ways of shifting things. And when I work with Gemini energy, I see such unique ways of shifting things, and I love it so much. So thank you so much for this. All right, let's get a look at these. We have good luck. See, this is the narrative that you're changing. And then, yes. The card 7, again, Chariot energy. And it says, the only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus back to love. See, this is what I'm telling you. If you have this desire and you have this thing in your heart, who in the world is telling you that you can't have it? If someone is saying that you have to sacrifice this in order to have this, like you have to sacrifice your relationship in order to have a happy, healthy home, that's so outrageous. What if you just sacrificed your negative mindset and your partner sacrificed their negative mindset and you guys actually harmonized your partnership together and then things got better? Then you have a happy and healthy home. You don't have to remove the object of your affection or your love, because the only thing that is real is love. So if there is something that you love, then focus on that love, because that love is going to shift your narrative. And then you're going to be able to see that sacrifice is literally what we're meant to do when we change. Change and sacrifice are no different. So if you think about transformation as a means of changing your life, then you are sacrificing your old life for the new one. It's all about the perception that we have. So if you focus on a loving manner of sacrifice, then sacrifice is a way of finding more love. And these false narratives that you have to live in this dark moon phase where your emotions are bleak and negative and you're powerless, you can release the ghost of this, because your ancestors are saying you've healed it already. You've healed it. And if you need help, call on Odin, call on Freya. They are here to help you move through this, to embrace the magic that is, because I have the feeling that you've been carrying this generational and karmic cycle since their time. And that is a long ass time to carry this stuff. So let's get your last messages for this moon phase. We have affirmations for growth. I love it. And 13, Lioness, you have earned all your stripes. Okay, I know that this card talks about body perception, but this to me is literally saying you've earned this shift. You've earned this change. You've earned this refocusing on this. You've earned it takes an incredibly strong soul to earn both Freya and Odin coming forward. And it takes somebody who recognizes their own inner strength when these two announce themselves. So give yourself all the words for abundance that you need. Just like I said, speak life into things. Don't speak these negative mindsets, these negative patterns that are not yours. They're not your patterns. They're not your mindsets. These are from ancestors. These are generational. These are carried in your actual DNA and in your soul. And now you can recognize them so you can overcome them, because they're not natural to you. You are naturally lucky. You are naturally able to shift perceptions. You're naturally able to hang from this tree and be like, this is really fun. I'm getting kind of dizzy. Woohoo. But you have this good luck energy just naturally to you. You've earned it because you've gone through everything that you needed to go through. And your higher self is literally saying, look at this. Look at yourself. Your ancestors are in this energy, but they want you to release it. They want you to release it and see that you can grow. See that you have earned your stripes. Look, they're literally releasing it up to give you this. This is the gift that your ancestors are giving you, this awareness that you have come into your own power and that you have earned it the hard way, the long way, the painful way. But you don't have to do that anymore. You can summon this nourishment, this replenishment into all of the dry areas of your life. You have the wisdom and the know-how of how to do it. You know how to communicate with the gods and goddesses. You can do this. You have everything you need on your side, and now is the time for you to move forward. So let's let's do exactly that. Let's move forward into the full moon and total lunar eclipse in Taurus. And this is happening in your 12th house. All right, Gemini, we are back. And I have to say, I swear to you guys, I swear to you, I do not look at these cards ahead of time. I had no idea what I was working with. And I am so floored. My husband came home for lunch. And so I took a break in between the last moon phase and this one to just spend some time with my husband before I came back. And as I was setting the cards up, I was literally screaming. And he goes, "Are you done yelling yet?" And I was like, sometimes it just amazes me that I'm a psychic because I don't look at these cards. And yet here we have the Chariot again. Now, I also want to say this is the only pile, the only moon phase, the only sign that got 4 cards for this total lunar eclipse in Taurus, which means it is a time of massive transformation. So this total lunar eclipse in Taurus on November 8th is the liminal or the middle place of transformational changes. This is stuff that's been started back in 2004 collectively. And now we're in this middle phase. We are in this transition phase to come into a completion cycle. When we come into a completion cycle, it's such a huge deal because it starts something new. But for this particular total lunar eclipse in Taurus, and again, this is going to be deeply impacting your first and second house, Mars out of bounds is making a parallel to Black Moon Lilith out of bounds. With the parallel, we don't take into consideration the astrological signs or energies, but it is in your first house. So I can't discount the fact that this is your own sense of self-worth. This is about transforming the perception of toxic divine masculine energy within you and from the guise of like the abandoning father perspective. And this is more of the abandoning father mythologically speaking and archetypally speaking, and about the silenceable divine feminine into a rebirth by changing the inner fears that whisper lies. This is that narrative. You guys are going through such a huge transformation time during Scorpio season. It is one of the most profound times for you in particular, Gemini. You in particular are going through the utmost transformation that I have seen collectively so far with Gemini risings. This is about eclipsing the hardship mentality surrounding creation from the heart and soul to give way to a new illumination of how fertile being soft is and what a luxury it is to have personal growth that brings forth more beauty into the world. The missing piece of all creation is the heart, the true nature that the heart is the beauty. That we can redeem our lives through the awareness that the painful stings of the past make us immune to the poison. And once we recognize the true strength that we have in getting back up and sharing our heart's creativity, we realize that we're immune to all the poisons of the past stings. We're immune to all of those moments. So this is about the beauty of living as a conduit of energy, healing, and creation between the heavens and the earth, mediating that inner tension you find within your divine masculine and divine feminine that we talked about so deeply and extensively through the purity and the innocence of the love of the inner child that you hold within you. Now, the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, and Uranus are all squaring off with Saturn in Aquarius. And this is a time to learn the lessons of change and evolution. It's about the karmic blessings of the individual from the collective past through willingly modernizing and no longer holding on to power out of fear. Now, this is a 16/7 day, so a Tower and Chariot day, and you literally have the Chariot right freaking here. This is about the rising of a strong Mars in Cancer, and I'm somebody who has Mars in Cancer. And I know that they say that Mars in Cancer is in fall. And that means that we see Mars as being weak when Mars is in Cancer. Mars can't do anything. It can't come out the way that it's meant to, but that's not the case. Mars in Cancer is about the power of the emotionally aware divine masculine. The emotionally aware divine masculine within each and every one of us is a harbinger of peace. He knows that if there is a need to go to war, the only reason why there is a need to go to war is literally for the sake of peace. And that is what Mars energy is here for, is war for the sake of peace. It's not war for the sake of war. So you're moving into this moon phase in this 6 of Wands and the waves energy. This is telling me that you are like I'm hearing I'm going to win no matter what. And if you have seen, what's the movie Spirit? Pitch Perfect. This is really that energy. It's literally like, I'm going to do anything and everything that I can within my power to conquer this, to climb this mountain, to reach this top. Now, the Six of Wands is the card of victory, and she is reaching the top of the mountain. She is reaching the top of the climb. Now, the Chariot also talks about victory. So you're coming in holding this victorious energy. And it's this victory over this Five of Wands, Knight of Pentacles energy, this constant battle, fight, in order for something to produce, something to come up. And, he's actually planting a garden in this Knight of Pentacles, and he's literally planting produce. So this is about all the people and the things and the mindsets that have been telling you that you can't plant this garden. You can't have this produce in your life. You can't produce this thing in your life. And you literally are coming into this state of, I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it go, because you've got the Hermit energy here, and this Hermit card itself talks about letting it go and resting. And this is what we talked about in the very beginning. This is what we talked about, the change and transformation that you needed to make. This is what you're calling, this is yourself, your inner self, your psychological mind, your conscious, your subconscious, your unconscious mind. You're literally conquering all the waves of negative emotions and negative mindsets now. You're coming into a victory phase of this. And it's because you've learned how to really relax and give to yourself. You've learned how to take all of the naysaying and the doubting and whatever and use it as the fuel to keep climbing upwards, so that you can plant all the seeds that you know are meant for you in your life, and nothing else, nothing more, nothing less than what you know is meant for you. And this Chariot card, she's got just such a joyful family moment. And it's literally saying you get it all. You get this relaxation time for yourself. You get this time out in nature. You get this time here. You get this time to transform and climb. You get this because you've chosen this, and you know that. And so you've changed your mindset to knowing that. So let's take a look at what your ancestors say. They have Candle Magic, card 9. Speak your breath into its velvet. Recite along its spine all that you desire, all that which will unravel. See, this is what you did. Literally, like, the more that you move through these phases and these energies, and you get in touch with yourself and you move through it, like, I'm literally seeing this beautiful progression of possibility for you as we're moving through the future. Like, this is what you have the capability of doing. So maybe this is the moon phase that your ancestors are saying, light a candle and literally speak your desires into being. Light a candle, like, she's got candles surrounding her. Light a candle, take a salt bath, take a spiritual bath. Take that time for yourself and speak your desires into existence. When I'm having a hard time, I have 4 candle holders. I have, 4 candle holders on my dresser downstairs in my bedroom. And each time I light one, I have these white candles that I light, and I will set an intention for just one thing. So say, for instance, last night I lit them, and I let them burn all night long because I know they're in my bedroom and they're with me. But I set it for peace and prosperity and happiness and clarity. And it's this constant thing that I do. And after every single time I light the candle, I give thanks, I give gratitude, because I know these things are already here. I know they're already here. And when you know they're already here, then you're not actually attracting them. You're just opening your arms up to picking up the gifts that already exist in your reality. That's the nature of manifestation. That's the nature of candle magic. When you know what you're actually, the firm intent, when you know the firm intent, that's what comes in. So let's get further messages. We have transformation. Oh my gosh. And card 34, receive with love and appreciation. Gracious acceptance is the way to show love. This is what I literally just said. It's literally learning how to accept, to open your arms and accept the gifts and the blessings that are here for you. And the best way you can do that during this moon phase is just light some candles, say your intention, and make it very simple. Make it a very simple intention. I want peace. I want prosperity. I want clarity. I want happiness. I want this. This is what I desire, Spirit. This is what I know I appreciate, or what I know that will be what I am meant for. This is the transformation I'm choosing for my life. And I am open and appreciative and gracious with what I am receiving. Your generosity will be reflected in the way in which I move through the world. Remember, the gift of unity within exudes outward as a blessing for all. So you're unifying within yourself this awareness of receptivity and how it can transform your life. So then we've got seasonal harvest. Look, you guys are coming into a harvest time. This is beautiful. And then card 6, dragons, slay them all. See, that's literally what you're moving through. You're moving through this energy of you have suddenly become aware of exactly what you need to slay within your own mind. And you have this determination to do it. Now you know that you can do it. You know that you're meant to do it, and you are going to do it. This is the time to harvest all of those negative mindsets and get rid of them, transform them, turn them into fertilizer for the seeds that you have planted for your life and for your growth and for your future and your abundance and your prosperity and everything that you are meant for. Give gratitude for who you used to be. Give gratitude to your ancestors, and give gratitude to the blessings that you have coming in and the blessings that you have here already, because you are a gift to this world, and this world is ready to give back gifts to you. So let's move on to the next moon phase. It is the 3rd quarter moon in Leo on November 16th. Okay, Gemini, we are back and we are working through the November 16th 3rd quarter moon in Leo. This is a 15 and 6 day, a Devils and Lovers day. This is the struggle and the temptation and the mindsets, and then making the choice to cut through them, to overcome them. This is happening in your 3rd house. This is about how you speak to yourself and how you can overcome that. Now, with Venus moving to the 0 degree of Sagittarius, she is now critical within the sign of Sagittarius. We are now being able to expand our belief that love can take aim for our future, that we can literally aim our future in a state of love and have a future that we love, and that we will attain that or achieve that, because Venus is giving us all that we want and all that we desire and all that we need to believe within ourselves. The Sun and Mercury in Scorpio plus Venus and Sagittarius are all squaring off with the moon. So we have to look to Mars retrograded in Gemini in your 1st house to find the answers to getting free of this energy, this tension. This is about learning how to be flexible in your own vision of love and the ways of speaking with the divine through an emotional ease, and stepping into the flow of creative solutions so that you can integrate changes and really truly embody the duality of being a shapeshifter. Now, you have the energy of sacred union here. So this is giving you the ability to embody that shapeshifter energy of that sacred union, of knowing that you are both masculine and feminine, divine and human, and embodying that and moving through the world that way. This is about excising shame that you have felt throughout your past and guarding the inner creative field so that true change can blossom within you. This is asking you to forgive the struggles and the tensions that have happened due to prior hierarchical structures, and making a conscious decision to change this to a healthy, loving, and welcome equality within your own mind and your own perception in the world in which you wish to build, so that that new reality can be created. Now, all quarter moons come with tension. They're the moment the sun and the moon come to a square aspect, or a 90-degree aspect, which is also known as a right angle. Whatever planets are traveling with or transiting near these two planets, they become energetically involved. It's like the little brother or little sister suddenly sees the older brother doing something that the older brother shouldn't be doing. Now the little brother is involved in the action of what the older brother is doing. You can't avoid it because it's one of those energetic involvements. But now you have to work through that. That heightens the energy of tension between our two most personal planets. And it changes the way in which we interpret it. So right is your divine masculine. The right side of your body is your divine masculine side. This means we're called to use the energies of both the divine masculine and the divine feminine, as well as the energies of the sun and the moon and the planets that are transiting with them, in order to lessen the tension on our inner divine masculine through action or receptivity of the divine feminine energies. Our divine feminine can take action, and we're learning that as we move through. Now, in this case, you are literally in your Queen of Swords. You have this clarity, this awareness of exactly how you want to shine forth into the world, and you know it. And the best part about that is you have come out of this Eight of Swords energy, and you're now embodying this Queen of Swords energy. A leap like the Eight of Swords to the Queen of Swords means that you actually took the advice that Spirit was giving you and you ran with it and you changed your life and you did it. Even if it was suggestions from this video, I didn't make the changes. You made the changes. I'm just the psychic channeling. I'm just the middleman. You're the one making the changes. You're the one that did it. You're the one. You did it. I didn't do it. You did it, sweetie. You did it. And I'm hearing that like in such a loving way, and your ancestors are saying it too. Like, you did this. You made this change. You literally leaped from the Eight of Swords to the Queen of Swords because you saw that there was that potential for that 10 of Swords. And you said, screw this. I'm not going to feel that way anymore. I'm not going to trap myself in my mind. I have clarity. I have peace. I know I can shine in the world. I set the intention for this, and that's what I got. And that is literally what I get from this Nine of Cups energy. This is where you're in right now. You have such great clarity of your divine masculine and divine feminine that you literally are in this state of peace. It's like the beauty of being a child on the beach or having your inner child out on the beach. Now you've built sandcastles, but now your adult is like, this is time to calm down, relax. And that is helping you be very patient in what you are building, what you have been nurturing, what you have been growing. And this is something that has been written in the stars and in your book of life and in your destiny for a very long time. What you have been building in your life is meant for you in your life. And it has been for a long time. So the more diligent, patient you can be, the better. And you're getting clarity on that so that you're not rushing forward anymore. I don't feel that rushing energy from you anymore, which is such a beautiful transition. So let's see what your ancestors have to say. Rebirth 31. There's death in all that awakens, for it isn't blissful nor painless. It's a mighty rising, O flame resurrected. Remember when I said that you could choose and only you would know whether you were going into the eagle or the phoenix energy? This is literally telling me that you have chosen to be the phoenix. And no one goes from the Eight of Swords to the Queen of Swords without being a phoenix. I'm sorry, but like if somebody wants to challenge me on that, go for it. I will go toe to toe with you because that kind of transition is so massive, so monumental. To go and pull yourself directly out of it without going through the anguish and the anxiety and the trauma of changing a mindset, but just shifting directly into this, hey, I have clarity and I am shining this clarity forth into the world. And that's literally what you're doing. For you to do that and then sit in the freaking Nine of Cups energy, that's the phoenix. You have become the phoenix of your life. You have literally excised all the crap that you meant to excise out of your life, and you are standing in your power. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing, especially seeing how this is learning how to communicate within your connections. You're really bringing more peace into your connections because you're communicating so much clearer from such a genuine, authentic place. So we have inspiration. Yeah. And then the card 5, simple acts of kindness. Kindness energizes you and brings happiness to those around you. See, there's such a soft and peaceful energy here. And even this inspiration, she's literally like, she knows she's a light in the darkness. And because you know you're the light in the darkness, you're giving that to other people. So you've literally walked through the flames. And now you're coming out the other side in a state of just calm, peace, serenity, awareness, relief, kindness to yourself, to others. It's like you have such like you have a very Snow White feel to you, a very gentle, loving, nurturing feel to you. It's very beautiful. And then we have listening to wisdom. Look, and this is literally that Odin's crows, or ravens rather, who spoke to him about the truth. You learned how to listen to your own wisdom. And then we've got 25, Mural, be your own first priority. You see, and look, she's got a tower on fire and fire here. Literally, it's like you learned how to put yourself first. You listen to the wisdom within your heart and your soul and not something that you found outside of yourself. And that's a really beautiful thing because it takes a lot of people a really long time to learn how to do that. You just did it. You learned how to put yourself first. And because of that, with this third quarter moon, you're asked to just take a break. Just relax, nurture yourself, nurture your inspirations, let these things come through, listen to the wisdom of your heart, and know that you are meant to be your own first priority. Now we're going to clear off the decks here. Thank you so much. And yes, I do thank my runes for the messages that they bring forth before I cleanse them in between readings. But we're going to clear the decks and get just some final energies, some final messages. I'm just going to up there. But yeah, you guys really, Geminis, you guys really, through this entire Scorpio season, you really embodied this energy of the Phoenix. And that's such a beautiful thing because that's literally breaking through all the illusions of your mind so that you could have this clarity and this peace. We have crystals healing. Yeah, see, you're moving into a time of such deep healing, patience. You learn. This is all just very much confirmation, affirmation. Then on the back, we have Shagai and fragmented. That's it. This is what you did. When you recognize that you were fragmented, that your energy was fragmented, that you were spreading yourself too thin, you literally said a wish. You put out a wish and you went about this healing. And the patience and the diligence that you've shown in this have really helped you see that it doesn't matter which side of the wishbone because you're literally holding both sides. So you're going to get the wish no matter what. You just have learned to be very patient and to pull together all those disparate pieces of yourself. It's almost like you did some sort of soul retrieval or you are doing a soul retrieval. If you have felt called to doing a soul retrieval, this is your confirmation. Go do a soul retrieval. Because I'm hearing it and seeing it on repeat. But this is all I'm seeing for you, Gemini. So I'm going to leave you here. If this resonated, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you get notified when I upload all my next videos. I should be back with regular pick-a-cards next week. I'm really excited about the pick-a-cards I have planned for you, including a collaboration with my daughter. So that is super, super exciting. And down in the description box, remember there are links to my author page on Amazon, which has that Mars retrograde guidebook. And let us know down in the comment section below how this resonated, how you guys are doing. You guys are the quickest pile so far, and these are massively intense energies. So I just want to say congratulations, Gemini, because you are rocking this Scorpio season, and the heavens and the guides and the ancestors, and I am all proud of you. So well done. I want to say thank you so much to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connection between us. Thank you to Spirit for bringing forth these messages of awareness and abundance. And thank you so much to you again, Geminis. I love you all. I will see you next time. Bye.